Hello, Prajakta. Good morning. I welcome you on behalf of BEW team. It is immense pleasure to get connected with you today. And let us talk about your success. You have huge success in AIIMS. You have got one of the most prestigious institutes, not only in India but in the world. That is, you are going to get dermatology in AIIMS Jodhpur. So let us talk about it today.
Okay. So, sir, little bit about myself. I am Dr. Prajakta, and I belong to 2015 batch of MBBS. I have done my UG from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Bhubaneswar, and recently I have been selected for MD Dermatology at AIIMS Jodhpur. So, when I started my journey in Bhubaneswar, I was initially scared because I have never been to the eastern part of the country before, and that too away from home. So initially definitely I was scared, but at the same time I was very happy also, because AIIMS has always been a dream for me. Like when I went to Kota, I did my 11th and 12th from Kota. So there were many students who had cracked the AIIMS before and from the same institute, and I was also aiming for the same institute. I also wanted to be an AIIMSonian, so I really studied hard in 11th and 12th class, and finally when I was selected there, I was very happy. Then the journey started as usual, and initially I was very nervous about it, because again there was little bit of nostalgia, having like I hadn't been far away from home before that, so that was there, but at the same time I was very satisfied with my achievement at that time. Then initial 1 year of MBBS was very good. I started studying, but preparing for the postgraduate examination was never there in my mind. I just used to do my regular classes. I used to study regularly. I've been very studious since very first day of my college, but I have to crack the exam, that too AIIMS. That wasn't the goal, but I tried to do my clinical postings regularly. I tried to stay updated from different sources, and the most important thing I did in first year and second year is I read all the standard textbook. Our teachers also used to focus on standard textbook, because rather than mugging up the stuff, what I think is important is to understand the concept. If you're good with the concept, then it's not just for your exam, it will make you a good doctor. So in for physiology, I used to study Ganong. Then for pathology, as Robbins is a Bible for pathology, then I made sure that during my second year I read Robbins thoroughly, properly, and any doubts are there, then teachers always used to be there. And in our institute we used to have regular classes, and if you have any doubts, then teachers are always going to be there. So that was something which I think is a plus point of having institute like AIIMS. Then when I finished my second year, seniors started telling that I think you should join some coaching institute, or you should start preparing for the examination.
But before going to PG preparation, just before going to that, I want to understand, how did you study your college syllabus? Like, how did you study pathology? What was the exact method? Like, you used to attend the lecture in the college, then come home and read standard textbooks, make your own notes. Like, what was your process?
Sir, I used to do my classes very regularly. I would hardly miss on any classes. I would make my own notes. I prefer making my own notes because they are very handy, and when it comes to the exam, even for the university exams, making your own notes, it's good, because for revising it's very easy for you. Then I used to make sure that I have all the notes ready before any university exam is there, and every day I would come home, I would read whatever has been taught in the class, and sometimes if I get the time, I used to read whatever has been planned for the next 2 to 3 days. So if that topic is being taught in the class, I used to understand it better. So that was the approach when I was doing my classes.
Okay, great. So when did you exactly start preparing for your PG entrance? Like as you said, initially that was not the aim, but eventually you must have realized that that is the biggest thing which you need to achieve. So when
So
was
sir,
that?
I was in 6th semester. My target was to make all the notes of all the 19 subjects before I start my internship. So that during internship, because internship is going to be a little hectic, so I should not waste time in making notes. When I'm in internship, I should have all the material ready with me so that I can just go through my stuff and revise it as many times as I can. So that was the approach.
Okay, great. One thing I want to ask you, you must have used obviously resources like BEW online resource. How did you manage college study and PG entrance study? What is the difference? Is it the same thing? Should somebody study separately for college and separately for PG entrance, or it is same thing?
Yes,
what are
actually.
your thoughts about
I
it?
would not say it's the same thing, because if you are targeting like INICET or NEET PG, the approach is going to be a little different from the university exam. Because in university exam, we have to write long answers. And in NEET PG or in INI, the exam is in the form of MCQs. But the similarity, I would say, is your depth of understanding. If the concept is clear to you, then it doesn't matter it comes in the form of a long question or it comes in the form of MCQ. If you are good with the topic, then dealing with it is not a difficult task for you. So I would say it's better to understand the topic, it's better to understand what exactly is given. And I think that would make you in a better position for cracking the entrance examination also.
Right. So, how did you, what was your approach towards applied kind of questions? Because there was a time 3 years back, 4 years back when one-liners used to come, memory-based questions used to come, but nowadays clinical scenarios are coming, real-life scenarios, cases are coming in the exam. So, what was your approach while studying pathology, pharmacology? Because you knew kind of that it will come in an applied manner, not one-liners. So how did you manage this applied kind of, how did you manage the integration of the subject?
So sir, when I started preparing for the exam like very seriously, I knew that in the previous year papers, what they used to ask mostly is clinical based questions, image based questions. And if you really want a good rank in such exam, then that part should be really very strong for you. So when I started the preparation, I didn't just read only theory. Like for pathology, I'm giving the example. If in pathology, whatever images are given in Robbins, I made the separate folder of them. And before the exam, I made sure that I see all those important images. Similarly, I have done for other subjects as well. Whatever images they have given, and I found that whatever they were asking in the previous exam, that image is exactly from Robbins, like in pathology I'm saying. So if you're already familiar with such images, then if the same image comes in an exam, then it's not a big deal for you. I made similar thing for other subjects as well.
Right.
And I think it's very important for you to attend your clinical postings as well. Because in INICET, lots of questions are coming from clinical integration and the practical aspects. So I still remember in INICET, which I have recently appeared, there were around 8 to 9 questions from ortho, and out of those 3 to 4 questions were directly from the clinical tests. So for many people, they found it difficult, but I was very happy because I could do them, because I had attended my ortho postings regularly. I had seen my seniors performing those tests. So for me, it was really easy, and later on I found that I made all these 8 to 9 questions correct. So then I truly realized the importance of attending your clinical postings regularly.
Okay. So nothing
Yeah.
is to be neglected, right? College studies is not to be neglected. It has its own importance. It contributes to your understanding, and at the same time, that itself is not sufficient for you to achieve in PG entrance. There has to be a separate path which you need to follow. Okay. So when did you appear NEET PG
Sir,
first?
I appeared for the
When
NEET
was it?
PG recently, 2 months back in September 2021. That was my
So that
first
was your
attempt.
first attempt.
And I
what
got
was
the
your
score of
rank?
650 with All India rank of 1700. But to be honest,
absolutely
I appeared for AIIMS in July, and I already at the time I had a surgery seat in my hand, so I wasn't very serious about NEET PG. But just because I wanted to give the exam, I appeared for the exam.
Okay, great. So you joined AIIMS Nagpur
Yes,
for
sir.
surgery, right? But then you left it. Any particular thoughts? You left it even without getting the seats. Somebody leaving branch like surgery, and that too from AIIMS. I was shocked when I came to know about it. So what was your thoughts? What were your
Yes, sir.
thoughts behind it? Why did you
So
leave
basically,
surgery from
I
Nagpur?
always wanted to take a dermatology because my interest was basically in cosmetic surgery. So at that time when I got All India rank of 751 in July AIIMS, I knew that I would not get dermatology at that time. But at the same time, I was like very tired with the studies, and I wanted to get somewhere some good seat. And then I decided कि okay, let's go with the surgery, because then after doing MS surgery, I could do plastic surgery, MCH. So in that way, I could have gone into cosmetics. But then when I joined, as it was a new institute, it's still developing, and I thought I wasn't really very happy with my choice. But I still tried. I did my duty for around 15 to 20 days there. Then I wasn't happy with my decision. Then I thought ki if I truly want dermatology, why should I settle for less? I should give one more try, and that was very doable because still I had 2 to 3 months to go for the next exam, and which was supposed to happen in November. Then I decided, okay, trust yourself. My parents were there with me. My father told me ki if you really want to do, and I know you can do it, you should go for it. Then nothing more than parents telling us and giving us that support. So I decided to quit, and then I again started studying for the next exam.
Okay. See, it needs really courage to leave a clinical bench from one of the topmost, institutes, and but you did that, and that shows that you were very much confident in your knowledge and skills which you had. Okay. So what did you plan? Like, what was your strategy while studying for PG entrance? Joining some coaching, joining some online coaching, that is okay. Everybody does that. But then, what was your specific strategy?
Okay, sir, two important things which I mainly kept in my mind while focusing on the exam. First is do as much MCQs as you can. First, and second, never ever miss out on the grand test, because they are very important to know where you exactly stand and how much you further need to go. MCQs give an extra edge because there are many people who just read theory, and theory will just try to cover 50 to 60% of your MCQ part, but the real application part, it will only come from the practice. So doing MCQs is very important. I made sure that every day I do at least 200 to 300 MCQs per day, and at least 1 GT per week, grand test per week. And in the final 2 to 3 months, I used to do around 2 to 3 GTs per week. So that way, it's not just that particular topic. When you solve one particular MCQ, you tend to know which topics are important and which topic you need to focus more on. So that is very important to know.
Okay. What do you think? Which mistakes you must have done? Why you couldn't get even better rank? मतलब ये थोड़ा सा push कर रहा हूँ मैं कि इतना तो हो गया अभी, लेकिन और चाहिए.
So sir, I think
Which
Yes, sir.
which
I think
mistakes?
I could definitely would have got better rank. I realized that I have done many silly mistakes, which I could have, I could have avoided by practicing more MCQs or by appearing for the more grand test. And also, it's important for you to start early in your life for preparing for the PG. If I could have started in internship, like in early part of my internship, I probably would have saved this 1 year. Now it's 1 year since I finished my internship. I would have got better rank if I would have started early. And MCQs are important. Along with that, subject wise tests are also important. If you think if you are lacking in one particular subject, then try to give subject wise test. Try to understand which topics are important, which topics you are really lacking at. When I appeared for the INICT for the first time, I left forensic medicine at that time. But then I then realized that it was the biggest mistake, because it's really a small subject, but it's very scoring in the exam, because you tend to get around 8 to 9 questions from such a small subject, and if you can do it well, it's very doable. If you do it well, then you definitely get all the correct in the subject. So I think that's important for you to understand your focus, where you want to focus on.
Okay, great. How many hours a day you studied, and how did you manage time? Because you have to attend lectures in college also, practicals are there, hospitals are there. You have to, do some daily work also, and you have to prepare for PG entrance also. So, how did you
Sir,
manage the
as
time?
I said, when I was in my 6th semester, when I started for preparing for the exam, I used to do around 2 to 3 hours per day for the preparation, like keeping in mind the serious preparation. But during internship, I couldn't do much, because at that time COVID pandemic also started, so we had emergency duties, we had ICU postings, so I could not do much. But still, I made sure that at least I devote 3 to 4 hours per day during internship. When internship got over, I came home, and when I truly started for the preparation, then at that time I used to study for around 13 to 14 hours per day. And if I feel that I'm getting exhausted, then I would take a small break of half a day, and then again I would start preparing. But I made sure that I study at least 13 to 14 hours per day.
13 to 14 hours
No,
at
sir,
a
I would
stretch?
take around a break of half an hour, maybe once or twice, but not more than that.
Okay. Prajakta, what is the importance of revision? Because what you have been talking of, that how did you study, but then how did you revise, and what is the importance
Okay,
of revision?
sir, as I said, before my internship, I had all the 19 subjects ready with me, all the notes I had with me. So during internship, I basically started revising. So first revision, it took me little longer, because for the first time when you are reading, you have to read in depth. So I would I took around, I think, 6 to 7 months for the first revision itself. But then when you are revising it for the first time, you have to make sure that your second revision for that particular subject should not take that same time. It should keep on reducing. So I took 6 months around for the first revision. Then the second revision I finished in around 3 months, and the third revision I finished in 1.5 months. So before appearing for the final exam, I covered all the 19 subjects for 3 times, revising all this stuff. And revision should be, every time you revise it, it should get quicker and quicker. So that was the funda basically. And at least 3 to 4 revision, I would say, are must before appearing for the exam.
Okay, that's great. How did you manage the stress? Because thoughts keep on changing and environment keep on changing in terms of psychological environment. Especially at this age, we have multiple stress and all that. So what kept you motivating? To what kind of philosophy you stuck to when it came to depression or nervousness?
Sir, one thing is, I knew that preparation phase is going to be really tough, because I've been hearing the same from my seniors as well. But then it's important for you to surround yourself with a positive energy. First of all, I wasn't there on any social media, be it Facebook, be it on Instagram. be it on WhatsApp. I made sure that I do not get any distraction from the social media. Then for around 6 months, I didn't even talking to my friends also. I was just very focused, and somehow my family atmosphere and everything I got at home was very much energetic. And to be honest, I never feel depressed, or there wasn't any kind of tension that no, I have to do this and all that kind of stuff. But I knew that I have the potential and I can do it if I do it honestly, if I do it with the dedication, if I am self-disciplined, I have the proper plan for the exam, I'm ready to work hard, then it's very much doable. And I had seen my seniors doing that, so I was really very motivated.
Okay. What you will advise to your juniors, because the big change which is going to take place now is that NEET, PG, INI, all these exams are going to get dissolved in one single exam called as NEXT. And that exam will not be after internship, that will be before internship. So they are not going to prepare for it in internship, they are going to prepare it much before that. So what is your advice to them?
I would tell my juniors that start early as you can, and do your clinical postings very regularly, be it doing a cannula or be it anything, be it doing any simple clinical test. Because when you are doing it, you don't really realize its importance, but when you actually see the same question coming to your exam, then you realize how important that was. So do your clinical postings very regularly. Even if you miss out theory classes, do not miss out on clinical postings. So do that very regularly, and do as much MCQs as you can. Do never ever you should miss out on grand test. Even if you are not prepared for it, just do it and then understand where you are lacking, because grand tests are going to be very important in understanding where you actually stand and which area need to be focused on more, so that you should not never miss out on.
Okay. And what are your plans ahead? Now you are going to join AIIMS Jodhpur for dermatology, and so what are your interests? What you want to do?
Sir, as I said, dermatology has always been a dream for me. So now I'm very happy that I have got into it. So right now the plan is to join there, complete my MD, and then after that I'm planning to start my own setup, or I want to do some fellowships in UK or US. So that's the plan. And also, sir, I want to tell that there is one famous dialogue in the movie Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. In that Ranbir Kapoor says that कि मैं उड़ना चाहता हूँ, मैं चलना चाहता हूँ, मैं गिरना चाहता हूँ, पर मैं रुकना नहीं चाहता हूँ. So that philosophy very much relates with me, because that kind of resonates with me, and it always tells you that you should stay motivated, you should keep on going, and you should never stop no matter what happens in life. So that is something important.
Okay. I think that was the most important piece of information, which the few sentences which you said at the end, that was really great. Prajakta, it was a big pleasure to interact with you. I hope that this will immensely help generations of students which are coming. And I really thank you to get connected with us, and I hope that you will be a part of our team going ahead also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.